I know what you're thinking, punk. You're thinking, did he shave with this blade 6 times or only 5? Well, to tell you the truth, I forgot myself in all this excitement. But being that this is the feather double-edged blade, the most powerful double-edged blade in the world, and will shave your face clean off, you've got to ask yourself one question. Do you feel lucky? Well, do you, punk? Feather blades come in a 5-piece cartridge case in a cellophane wrapper. There's a place in back where you could store your spent blades. This is what an individual feather blade looks like in its wrapper. I am going to unwrap it shortly. At the end of the video, I am going to attempt to cut it in half for those who, I don't know, need that done. Feather has an undeserved reputation for being sharp. It actually isn't that sharp. I've used feather on many occasions prior to the test shave, which I did prior to this review. So let's open the blade and see what it looks like. Now, I know that this is a highly goopy blade. They really do a glue overload on this blade. This one doesn't look too bad. So let's keep unwrapping. Okay, so far so good. Not too much glue. And let's see if I could peel this off. So this blade looks pretty good. It's not too goopy, so I don't get to revel in showing you all the goop. I'll talk about my test shave, and I'll just, before I do that, I'll just close this. On day 1 of my test shave, the blade was extremely dull and extremely unsmooth. For me, it is hard to have a worse shaving experience than day 1 of the feather. Day 2 with the feather was the sharpest. In some areas of my face, it came close to being a cartridge-like shave. The blade had also begun to become smoother. There were still areas of my face, particularly under my bottom lip, where the blade just would not move. I attribute this more to feather having a weird blade angle than a lack of sharpness. I got a very minor cut on day 2 on my neck, which was probably a reopening of the cut I received from the previous blade that I had tested. On day 3 with the feather, there was a decrease in sharpness and an increase in smoothness. I also cheated on day 3. I used this one blade electric razor to shave the area below my lip. I didn't want to risk cutting myself. It became so uncomfortable to shave certain areas of my face that I decided to abort the testing, even though it appeared as if I could have gotten at least 1 day more out of the blade. I know from experience that this is an extremely easy blade to cut yourself with. Not because it's sharp, because it really isn't that sharp. It just has a really weird blade angle. It effectively makes the blade blunt. And I've tried many different strategies to compensate for this weird blade angle, and I've only gotten cut. So this is not a blade that I mess with. This is probably the most dangerous blade in the world. I'll give you that. I mean, I have really produced some very deep wounds. You know, that kind of cut that takes like 2 weeks to heal. Really nasty cuts. This is not a blade that you really want to mess with. You should just, if it's not doing what you want it to do, you should just, you know, respect it and you know, use the one blade or stop using it and use some other double-edged blade or whatever you want to use. Just don't use this if it's not working. In summary, I think that feather is an extremely crude and unpredictable blade with an extreme blade angle. I can imagine someone like Leatherface or Robert Redford using this blade to shave. However, it is hard for me to imagine how a normal human being can comfortably shave with this blade. I am going to cut the blade in half now, as I said I would. I'm certainly not going to be using this ever. And this is hopefully the last time I will ever have to use feathers again. I have a lot of them. So hopefully the end of the world won't happen and I won't get stuck using all my feathers that I've stockpiled. Okay. Why did I buy all these feathers? Well, I was young and naive. Okay, let's see if I can do this without hurting myself. Wow. Okay. Cut in half. Wasn't that easy, but it did it.